All right, what's up guys? Coach Zach here, Catoctin CrossFit. I wanted to get with you guys on some programming, intent, structure, design, kind of the ins and outs, the whys of what we're going to get into in the next few weeks, so you can understand a little bit more about the process behind it, what to expect in the coming weeks, and then how to better measure your progress through the next few weeks as we build and layer this stuff in deeper and deeper. So before I dive too much into my mess of whiteboard here, in the exercises, the rep and set scheme, how we're going to get at it, a little bit on the why behind the movements we chose, how we designed the program, and the underlying intent, what we're trying to accomplish for you regardless of your goal with it. So a lot of the stuff is Olympic by nature. There is some foundational powerlifting and squatting in it too. So goal being, regardless if you're trying to go to the 2025 Olympic Games or be a better mom or grandma or racquetball player, whatever it is, this stuff demonstrates critical motor control, neural response, reaction, strength is also a good one, just accurate strength, building inside of positions too. So the goal here is not to layer on an insane amount of volume with half effort intent and just really fast CrossFit style reps. So we're gonna break things down, work on the positions, teach your brain how to fire electricity better inside of the positions through the first few weeks. Then we'll start to speed things up a little bit or reduce the tempo, the slowness behind it as we increase load, or we can make some small jumps inside of that. Anyway, regardless of your goal, hey, we're all going to get stronger. You're at the beach next year with your shirt off. You'll be able to catch yourself better if you slip on the ice this winter, whatever it is. And you're going to come out of this too with a really good looking split jerk or clean and jerk and better squat pattern. So looking at the movements, we're going to start with a 5-week rotation, and we're going to center around a front squat, a split jerk slash, that's an and or overhead squat. You're going to see both of them in the program. And then a snatch and a clean, and that's a standard full clean, no jerk on that. So we're going to alternate these movements, which equals 4 days essentially. Squat is 1, front squat is 1, sorry, snatch is 2, clean is 3, and then a split jerk or overhead squat gives me 4 days. On the 5th day, we're going to look at some revolving skill and drill gymnastics work. Progressions that'll build on each other, handstand drills, kipping pull-up, simplistic pieces to get you better quickly at the motions, more comprehension. Some longer conditioning pieces as well, just good old grinders, some sweat work behind it, some structured accessory work. What does that mean? RDLs, bench pressing, strict overhead work, dumbbell play work, things of that nature, rope climbing, right? Things outside of these really big global compound exercises to kind of let your nervous system cool down, have some fun, get some rest inside of the week, but still make it to the gym 5 days if that's your jam. And core, of course, we're going to pepper in tons of core because a lot of all of the major motions, 4 motions we're going to cover are very much hip to sleeve work. So core to extremity is the goal. This needs to be tight before this happens correctly or moves correctly. Inside of the 5-week pattern, looking at the exercises, front squats, every week, once a week, we're going to do 6 sets of 5 reps. Okay, we're going to do it on a clock. I think we're looking at a 2 or 2.5 minute drill. In the first 5 weeks, we're going to look for a 3-second lowering down, so 3-second count to the bottom, show control in the bottom, but not a deliberate pause necessarily. Stand up, breathe, squeeze, reset, and go. So this is teaching proper descent, proper body pattern through the squat. It'll give us as coaches or your coaches a lot of opportunity to work on movement pattern, maybe give you some homework, right? Maybe we see something, we're like, hey, Sally, you really need to work these ankles, this hip, that upper back, whatever it is. And if you address that stuff now and just do a little bit of a pregame 5 minutes before group or even inside of our warm-ups, you'll get better in the 5 weeks. Anyhow, loads stay arguably lighter for the 5 weeks or even the same weight. Control with the proper tempo. If you nickel and dime it around, that's cool, but don't go nuts yet. Overhead squat and split jerk. This is going to be the same rep scheme for either motion, okay? We're always going to do 5 sets. We're going to start week 1 with 5 reps. Week 2 will be 4 reps. Week 3 is 3 reps. Week 4 is 2 reps. There we go. And week 5 would be 1 repetition. And that's 5 weeks total. Every lift will have a 5-second pause, 5 seconds in the received or finished position. So overhead squatting, control, of course, to the bottom position of your overhead squat, and stop. Hang out, get comfortable as you can get in an overhead squat for 5 seconds. And then accurately stand back up. Same thing in a split jerk. Land the split jerk, locked out, brace, squeeze, fix what needs to be fixed, stop, 5 seconds. If you gotta stand up, right? We're not gonna get unsafe with loads. We're gonna work at loads that will yield a very accurate motion and stuff that you can show control. 5 seconds is a long time if you guys wanna count it out in your heads right now. But it's giving, again, your brain a lot of time and opportunity to work on the movement and the positions. You will get more comfortable in them. Then you'll ultimately find that elusive bottom of an overhead squat position that we typically struggle with and shy away from. The locked out, full split scissor underneath a jerk bar, not the princess step I'm always talking about. You'll be comfortable in it after the 5 weeks. So as we progress down in repetitions, sure, there can be a small weight jump up, absolutely. But again, nothing dramatic, just making some jumps and focusing more on the pause in the catch or receive position. Snatch and clean. We're gonna do each motion 1 day a week with some type of break or rest between it, especially budgeting the squat volume inside of the week. But each movement, we'll have the same rep and set scheme, and we're gonna do small cluster single sets, okay? That's what we're calling it. It's not always, it'll begin with 3 sets of 10 reps. How are we gonna break up the 10 reps? You're gonna do 5 singles. Clean, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out, 10, 15 seconds. Then you're back on the bar, 5 more singles, okay? Inside of a larger time interval. And we'll give you a different block based on the total volume for the day. Let's say we're working inside of about a 2-minute piece or a minute-long piece, whatever. Do 5 singles, step back, shake it out, 10 seconds, and then again, 5 singles, step back, shake it out. All right, intervals up. Then we're gonna rest somewhere between 1:15 and 2 minutes of complete rest. Gives us time again as your coaches to work on technique. Hey, I saw, too much elbow bend here. We need to receive better, more active, whatever the case may be. We're going to give you some feedback on it. Then you get a lot more opportunities inside of that day to work on perfecting the movement is the idea. So first week of the 5 weeks, we're going to do 5 and 5 is the idea. The second week, we'll do 4, 4, and then 4 for 3 sets, okay, which equals 36 reps total for the day. Then 3, 3, 3, which is 9 for a set times 3 sets equals 27. Yes, I just double checked my math there. Reps for the day. 2, 2, 2, 2, 3 sets of that, and then singles, 5 singles for 4 sets. This can build through the weeks. Make some small jumps, nothing crazy though. We're working on accurate movements. We want every repetition to look the exact same as the idea. The second week, your set of 4s should look the exact same as your 4th week set of 2s, okay? Be patient with it. This is just the first 5 weeks of work, all right? These will preferably be fuller motions, meaning squat, get underneath the bar. Now, you know my jam on that and the laws behind, the snatch laws in that respect. Power snatches, power cleans, cool, great, do them. You have aspirations to get better at the lift, full comprehension of the lift, and improve your fitness, then work inside of the squat pattern, right? Hey, Zach, I can't overhead squat. I got this knee and hip back. All good. Hey, we'll work a proper snatch. We still see tremendous value in your fitness, learning how to wield a barbell over your head swiftly. Snatch the barbell, practice the overhead squat, or set it down after your cluster sets. Pick up a lighter bar and work inside of it. There's going to be time built into these strength sessions to, again, help you get better. Because we obviously Olympic lift fairly often. We're trying to give opportunities to coach, refine movement, and get tons of practice, accurate practice. That's the first 5 weeks. Without giving you too much more breath, we're arguably going to repeat this, okay? So 5 weeks of the top section of my board, second 5 weeks, we're going to go again. We're going to go again. Same program, same format, not because we're out of ideas, but because we're going to layer in a little bit more, a more challenging approach that will, now we're going to allow more opportunity for some load, okay? So, or carry over the same load with a harder movement standard. Let me explain. Front squat, same deal, 6 sets of 5 reps, but we're adding tempo all the way across the board. We're looking at a 3 count down, a 3 count hold, a 3 count up, and then a shorter rest at the top. 1 to 2 breaths preferably, just nothing we're getting sloppy with. So goal here through the 5 weeks is maybe we add 5 pounds, right? Because I'm an immature squatter. I've only been doing this stuff for a year or two, and I'm seeing tremendous gain still. Maybe I got heavy up here on the last few weeks, or this was really hard for me. I'm gonna try and stay with the same weight, but add in the tempo. That's gonna add, you don't need to add any more weight than that. Use the tempo overload on the squat basis with this guy. That's the goal. Snatch and clean work. We're gonna do the same cluster single set. Again, a lot of opportunities to Olympic lift here. Add 5 or 10 pounds each week. Add from what you did previously. This is important to log, track, score your progress. In that respect, at least know what you did the prior week or the prior 5 weeks. Depending where you're at in your life cycle and the gym and fitness journey and all that good stuff, maybe you stay with the same weight because you just can't quite figure out the snatch. Well, guess what? We're still probably going to be coaching you in 4, 5, 6 years, and a lot of our folks in here can attest to that, and they'll arguably agree with me when I say, keep it light, keep it an empty bar until you really have breadth and depth on the exercise and you understand it. Don't put on a ton of weight. It's cool. You're going to get to come back tomorrow. The gym will be here. We will be here to coach you and get you better. Don't rush the process. Same thing on the split jerk and overhead squat. We're going to repeat from the above sets. Instead of a 5-second pause, we're going to decrease to a 3 Mississippi pause, right? Or 3 Catoctin CrossFit, 2 Catoctin CrossFit, 1. You get the idea. With maybe a couple more pounds each week or from the previous 5 weeks, still looking inside of a proper hold position. So another 5 weeks of ton of opportunities to work on it. Depending where we're at after the second 5-week rotation in the gym, we have this built out to run it again for another 5 weeks. The final 5 weeks will express more opportunity now to show off some of the gains you made, especially in the later weeks, 3, 4, and 5. So idea with the front squat is we're going to remove the pauses, the tempo behind it, keep the rep range close to 5. Maybe through the later 5 weeks we start to decrease some weight and reps to take some shots at something a little bit heavier. Again, if you're accurate, and it depends where we're at in our life cycle, okay? In the gym, we will help guide you on what you should be shooting for there. But we already have it built out with some intent. The snatch and clean work, same thing. We're going to keep the cluster sets together. This time, if you're accurate, start to take some freaking shots, right? And get great conditioning work from all of the Olympic lifting reps. You guys know it's a lot of full body work. And split jerk and overhead squat work, there's no tempo, there's no pause. We want to take some shots this time. Big air and overhead squat, okay? Down and up. Show me what you got. You've been working hard for 10 weeks. Same thing on the split jerk. We'll use the rack as needed. Fire a proper split. Boom. Stand it up. You won't need to pause because you've just spent the last 10 weeks living in the freaking split position. So your body's going to know where to land, how to brace, how to recover your reps properly through it. That really sums it up for the next 10, even 15 weeks. Again, that last 5 I'm really excited about. I want to take temperature of the gym and figure out what's best for you guys though. We might have to spin and pull some things around or even start to couple it together. But moving past at least the 10 or 15 weeks, this opens a ton of doors to start to merge these motions if you see where we're going. Hey, we got some legs now, we got some wheels from all the controlling and tempoing loaded front squats. So what can we do? We can get underneath the clean bar pretty well. We're gonna be able to stand up that weight. Guess what we can do at the top of the clean now? We can jerk it because we've just spent 15 weeks working on a freaking split jerk. Overhead squatting, we spent a lot of time sitting at the bottom. Guess what I've struggled with over the last 3 years of my fitness? Getting underneath the snatch bar. Guess what you're gonna be better at now? Getting underneath the snatch bar because you just sat in an overhead squat for the last 10 and 15 weeks. Anyway, sky's the limits with the stuff. I'm really excited about it, and taking some extra time on the 5th day of the week. That doesn't mean Friday, by the way. That's the in-between day where we're going to give the legs a rest. It might be midweek, it might be towards the end of the week, etc. Last piece, I'll sum this thing up. What do you do if you miss one of with your snatch? You're like, man, Zach, I missed week 3 of the cluster sets. I really need, guess what? Go get it in. Cool, all good. We're going to split jerk from the rack. I will make sure you know exactly where you're going and the intent for the day, the focus for the day. Kick off and track the program the best you can. But if you're arguably pretty consistent to the gym, which everybody in here is, you're going to get enough through the first 5 weeks where you won't need to make up any days. I'm not going to encourage that or recommend it. I'm going to say come to the gym, work your butt off when you're here, give me everything you got, and you're going to be in good shape regardless of the days. Even if you can only do Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday are your days in the gym, we're going to revolve this program enough so you'll get all of the pieces, okay? It is not going to be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday bit where it's the same movement, same day. We're going to sprinkle things around because it's good for you, and that's how this thing's designed. Get with me or Troy or Jason on any I don't want to say flexibility, mobility, restrictions, concerns. I don't want to use the word restrictions. Concerns you may have or woes, right? Struggles, so we can start giving you some homework ahead of time to get into this stuff. But if not, we're going to start this next week. I forgot the date because I've been out of town all week, but following Monday, we're going to kick this bad boy off. You'll see it on the whiteboard, start tracking your scores, and we're going to rock and roll. I'm excited, guys. Thanks for listening.